Okay, so I have not seen the episode yet. Scotty watched it early because he has class. I'm at work. I'm on a break. I pulled over. I got a play-by-play of a little bit of what happened, and spoiler for the West Coast, whatever. We want to talk about it because it was lit. Okay, go.
So we start with Claire basically getting sent home on was it a unanimous vote? I think, no. Someone voted for Xavier. I don't remember, but
well, who gave the sympathy vote?
I think, now I can't fucking remember. Hang on. Big Brother. Of course, whenever I need to search up something, it never pops up so quickly. Okay, scrolling down.
I just feel like Tiffany would be the
Hannah.
only one. Wait, so okay.
Hannah was the one that voted for. Okay, so
management.
So Hannah voted for Xavier. Everyone else voted Claire. Claire kind of exposed Xavier being like the biggest target in the house, more than has already been going on. There's been a lot of talk about that. And also Claire kind of set up the target for whoever won HOH next. So Claire got sent home, had a cool eviction speech. Then we go to the HOH, which this is the start of BB Comics Week. So all the competitions are themed around the BB Comics.
Cute.
Anyway,
I always love those.
They basically were shown questions on different like superhero like terms, so like boom, pow, whatever. Hannah got all except one correct and ended up winning HOH, with Kyland coming in second. That was very intense to watch. Then Hannah immediately in like the little like commercial break section is in the bathroom and is like, okay, like come in, like let me like give my little like rundown. She's like, X and Alyssa, okay, go. Alyssa comes in and she's like, listen, like Xavier's my target, but like I have to put you up on the block. And Alyssa is like, I think she genuinely thought like Hannah would not put her up, because she was literally like, what do you mean? She's like, we just made a final 2 sloppy seconds.
She's like, yeah, but you and him are the last like
duo
pair. But not really, because Azah and Derek F are kind of a pair.
But like,
but no one
explicit duo from like the teams, like, you know. And on top of that, like Alyssa is not going to put up Xavier and vice versa. So she kind of just dealt with it. Hannah, no like total game face, was just like, yeah, you guys are going up on the block, so take a seat. And
I love it. She's like,
yeah, so bye. So we have Hannah's first HOH, second competition win after a veto. So that means every single person in the cookout except Azah and Big D has won a competition. So moving on. Then it moves to the veto, which was one of the easiest puzzles I've seen on any of the competitions.
They must have wanted it to be quick.
But Xavier did it in legit like maybe 45 seconds. Like it was that quick. No one else had any shot of winning. Hannah and like maybe Tiff were second. And by second, I mean like not even halfway. So
like had just started when he finished and everyone else hadn't even gotten to their puzzle. Like that kind of blowing out of the water.
Pretty much. Yeah. Xavier wins. And obviously there was some thought of like, well, what if he uses it on Alyssa? I don't think that would ever happen, because he knew they would evict him if he did that. And that's also like right before Final 6, that would be the worst move.
Yeah.
Even though it would cause drama. So
it would have been dumb.
Yeah, and like I did feel bad for Alyssa, because she just, I mean, she's right there. She made it as far as she could have, to be honest, given the circumstances.
I thought she would. If she didn't win certain stuff, I don't think she realizes how
lucky
bad
she was.
How close it was for her to go a couple times. That like, if she had done something, like, nowhere near that far. So she should still be proud of herself. This was a season for someone like her to definitely lose, and for her to make it that far, she should still be proud of herself.
Xavier ended up using the veto on himself, and Hannah put up Kyland. Here's where I started seeing like tension of just like people, I think obviously Xavier had right to like feel weird in the situation, but then Derek F and Kyland were like acting weird. Also, by the way, Kyland was not picked for Veto. He was the only one that didn't get picked. So then basically everyone except for Xavier votes out Alyssa, and Alyssa goes home. And she basically, that's really it.
She
didn't cry. No, I think she was in kind of like a, like it's like a Alyssa from season 15 where she was just like, I don't know, I'm just kind of like shocked, but like not surprised.
I'm not surprised, but I'm still surprised, but I'm just like, okay. Like more like kind of one of those. So that's so crazy. So basically that's what happened.
Also, literally right now, there was a little bit of an argument. I'm not going to say fight, but they were getting
between Kyland and Derek F.
Yeah, because I'm trying to figure it out based off of, the feeds coming on literally like 10 minutes ago. Apparently Derek F said something to Kyland, and Kyland gave him like major like attitude and like kind of checked him, and Derek F and him like were now looking back on it, they were clearly like there was some tension there. But it sounds like they're apologizing, but I don't know if he maybe caught word that Derek F wanted to target him, or if Azah wanted to target him, or if it's just about like
tensions are high and someone said something wrong, like people are just being emotional, or if there's something really behind it. It sounded like you were reading through it that Derek F said something along the lines of like, I would never vote against you to Kyland, and Kyland must have maybe heard that there was talks that he did want him out, so he was kind of like, why would you say that? Like, I know that's not true. Like, you kind of didn't even want me here, but all right. So I feel like
it's just some misunderstanding that we'll get clarity on probably later tonight, because we're going to be doing a spoiler video for the HOH tonight, which is going to be late, right? But
sure that
it has to be tonight because they don't change the schedule. It'll be like late, like 10 maybe. But also it seems like Hannah and Xavier had a conversation about Kyland looking very scared as the replacement nominee.
Yeah, it just really, I get it, because I probably wouldn't be comfortable on the block either, but you can't show it like that because it makes it seem like you don't trust your alliance. And then they're like, you trust us when we have your back, and then there's tension. So I mean, I'm gonna be honest though, I really do think like, if as much as I feel like Derek F and Azah played the least, so I would want them to go first and then see the rest of them battle it out because they played harder, in my opinion. I think in most opinions, I honestly think for everybody's game, they got to get rid of Xavier for right now. Like, he has to go. In the double, they can get rid of like Derek F and Xavier, or Azah and Xavier. If the rest of them want more of a chance, they got to get rid of Xavier. He has to go. It was Kyland that was that person, and I feel like Xavier, with what happened with Alyssa and him not having to get any blood on his hands like this and get this far and get that veto win, was, we finally showed that we do know how to compete. We didn't throw something. Like, he's got to go. He's a threat. And he's a major threat.
Alyssa had a really quick conversation with Xavier, basically saying that Claire told her like right before she left, if you sit in my position, you're going to go home, which is exactly what happened. And also, I feel like Hannah's kind of not upset, but just kind of like wishes that Alyssa had more time to understand like what was going on, because I feel like she's going to be very confused and like kind of thrown off.
Hannah's like, thinks like, she's kind of like Tiffany, she can talk her way out of some stuff, and she's like, jury management, I didn't have time to do that jury management with her, and now she might poison other people's opinions, or I definitely lost her vote. And so I can see why she would feel that way.
Kyland just said, why would anyone do anything for appearances from the time the veto was won onward? I understand it's a habit. In the moment, it was like we were prioritizing how is Alyssa going to feel about me over how does Kyland feel So yeah, I think
but hurt because he's to pretend that he could be going to try to make Alyssa feel better. Well, why does it matter anyways? You knew you weren't going.
I think that's the whole thing, is like he maybe thought he was, because I mean, to be fair, literally Kyland after X, I don't even know. I feel like equally from like opposite sides of the cookout, Kyland is like wanted out. But I feel like in this situation, you should be like, they're not gonna kick me out and risk jeopardizing the final 6.
Got here, why would they risk everything? Like, I don't think any of us would pull that trigger. Like, we have time to pull more triggers. Like, we can get here.
Even Xavier. And
yeah,
on top of that, I feel like I was mentioning this earlier. Xavier was literally, if he was in a good position before double eviction, he's in an even better position. He gets to keep his allies complete trust and complete like understanding. Whereas with Tiffany, obviously because of the position she was put in, Claire still trusts her and whatnot, but her alliance doesn't. And she's definitely the #1 target, even more so than before she won HOH again. And I feel like Xavier, now he didn't have to sit a week with Alyssa, like wondering, asking questions, like making deals. Like he can literally just like send her home 30 minutes after Claire, and then that's it. He has had it the easiest. And I'm not saying he hasn't put in work. I mean, he's only won 1 HOH.
Do things socially and other stuff to be here, but technically, like, if there wasn't Tiffany, that whole cookout would not have made it. Like, that was all her brain plan. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like riding her coattails, and I get it. Like, I'm not gonna say like you got to do with the cards that you're dealt, you do the best you can. So if you become the perpetual pawn, you got to figure out how you can work that. Like, you don't know what's going to happen, you know, different situations. So just because Tiffany came in and started this and she was like the brain power, doesn't mean that Xavier can't get credit for going underneath her and working that to his advantage either. I just would prefer Tiffany to win, in my opinion, but it's still not to, you know, it's just different gameplays. It's not to don't knock it. They're all playing well. I would say the top 3 people are definitely Kyland, Xavier, and Tiffany. They've all played the hardest. And then right under that is Hannah. Hannah's very close to them, but I'd say they're above her slightly. I'm so excited to actually watch the episode, but I'm also excited to find out who the new HOH is. And as soon as we know that, we will jump back on here and give a spoiler. So keep your eyes open. And, you know, in order to really catch that, you got to like, comment, share, subscribe.